pull the stars off the screen.
Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the Late Night Gaming Show. We have got plenty of goodies in store for you today. We've had a wealth of beautiful Nintendo Switch games. But first, who are we joined with today? You're joined with me, Tim.
Me, Jodie.
You excited?
I am.
You excited for this show?
Yeah.
Been playing lots of games. You excited to share?
Yeah.
More than last time, because last time was a disappointing amount.
It was disappointing, and it's a little bit still disappointing, but
what can you do? So we are going to go straight into our first section, which is Joke of the Week. Okay, it's time for section 1, which is Joke of the Week. Today is a Tim homemade brewed joke. You excited?
We all know what happens there.
Alright, here we go. So, Jodie, you hadn't seen me online for a while. And
No.
you're like, Tim, what's going on? We love playing Battle Royale together. We haven't been doing that. And I said, don't worry, I'll see you in a fortnight.
That was so quick. That was so quick. Unbelievable. That was pretty good, actually. For a homemade joke, that's pretty good.
I want to point out, I came up with that about 30 seconds ago.
So
I'm going to own that.
That's pretty good, that. Well done.
I caught myself out there. So there you go. I think it's clear who won that one.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a joke at first. I was like, actually, I've not seen you online for a while. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got it now.
So just to clarify that was Jodie, you've not seen me online for a while. Don't worry, I'll see you in a fortnight, which is obviously a reference to the popular game Fortnite. But Fortnite, for all you young kids out there who don't understand that it is a saying,
yeah,
a fortnight refers to a 2-week period. So there you go. So, as always, if you're in school, work, whatever, people haven't seen you a lot because you've maybe been off ill, and you're coming back. It's been a couple of weeks. You might need a couple of weeks to recover from whatever illness that is.
Mm-hmm.
You might say to your schoolmates, colleagues, family, friends. You might say, they might be like, "Oh, Jodie, I'm a bit worried about you. I've not seen you in a couple of weeks." And you go, "Don't worry, see you in a fortnight."
There you go.
And then everybody laughs, joy. People are happy to see each other, and then you move on, and then maybe you play Fortnite in a couple of weeks.
You never know.
But you might want to clarify. You don't have to commit to not playing for 2 weeks. If you use that joke, you can,
you can still play.
You can point out that Fortnite's a game. I'll see you on Fortnite rather than in a fortnight. So I'm glad we could clarify that. So feel free to use them in that situation. And with that, we're going to move into our second section, which is what have we been playing this week?
What you been playing this week?
Welcome back. It's time for our second section, which is what have we been playing this week. Jodie's still in disbelief that a joke was told that was actually a little bit funny.
Yeah.
We're impressed with her. So Jodie, what have you been up to this week? Have you been getting down with the kids?
Getting down with the kids.
You've been enjoying the games. You've been playing more adult games that you're not allowed to play with kids because they're underage, like 18s, 15s.
It's just dreadful. Literally, I played Fortnite for like 30 minutes last night,
And then
today I played Fallout Shelter on the bus over. And then I played Mario Kart on the bus over, and I still can't get rid of the credits, Tim. It just won't go away.
Do you want to clarify what this situation is? I've never even seen it before.
So what happens is, at the end of like your first round of all your games,
Of the cups,
you get a credit, okay? And you can't take the credits off because you're supposed to watch them all the way through.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen with me because it does it after every single game. So now I can't play certain levels on the game because it'll send that off. But today I must have wasted about 20 minutes on the bus just by watching the credits.
Usually it only does it. The credits only roll at the end of like the last cup. But for you, it's doing it on every single cup. So every time she finishes a cup, she's got to wait and sit there for about 10 minutes for these credits to roll.
It's really sad.
And it's so weird because I can confirm that doesn't happen on my game. So
yeah, so that's what I've been doing
mm-hmm.
because uni just takes over you, doesn't it?
It does, and it's important that you obviously do that over.
I don't know. That could be a question.
Yeah.
No, of course.
Okay.
That's
so
it. What about
so
you?
my week's been mixed. I've had a mixed week.
Okay.
Obviously, the Fortnite's continued, which I'm still disappointed in myself for. But
would you like to tell the world where you're up to, Tim, on Fortnite?
I don't think it's too bad. I'm on tier 48 or 49.
How many were you on the first week?
30. Something like that.
So within the matter of 2 weeks, you've got to 40.
Yeah, it got a little bit out of hand. I'm doing the challenges every day. That's what's pulling me back. They know what they're doing there, don't they? They know what they're doing. So I've been enjoying that.
They're not stupid.
Yeah, and the new challenges came out today. For us, it's Thursday. For you, it's Monday. But I've been enjoying that. But the big talk of the town, of course, was that Octopath Traveler came out. We had Octopath Traveler. We had Toad's Treasure Tracker. We had Lego Incredibles all come out on the Switch on the same day. So I sent Lego Incredibles back because I was like, I haven't got time for it and I'm not really bothered. But then Jodie, then last night, me and my wife, we went out and watched Lego Incredibles 2. And I've got to say that movie is so good. Definitely recommend a watch.
You went and watched Lego's Incredible 2 or...
Oh, did I say Lego Incredibles?
2? Yeah.
I went and watched The Incredibles 2 in the cinema.
I did hear it was good.
But I got the game just the day just before, like on the same day. I thought, I'm going to want to play that when I get back. And I did. I got it cheaper though, so it wasn't a waste of time. So the movie, definitely recommend it. It's really fun, really good. Way better than the first one.
Really?
I think so.
Normally, like...
There was just... Jack is the star of the show in this movie.
Oh, we all knew he was going to be the
There's
star.
so many funny moments. I don't know if some people prefer the first one, but I think the second one is just like better, well-rounded movie. But it's still good. It's still good. But the game, that's actually going to be a review of the week. I've not played a ton of it, but I think I know enough to be able to give it a review. So stick around for that one. But I've played a lot of Octopath Traveler. I want to play it a little bit more before I commit to doing a review on that. But my word, that is a good game. That is an incredible game. And then Toad's Treasure Tracker is just really the same as the Wii U one. So I actually played that with Beth a little bit.
All right.
Kind of 2-player. We had a good laugh with that. So that's kind of what I've been playing. So it's been busy for me. But then I've got to work as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
everyone's got to work.
Everyone's got to work. Apart from you kids in school now who have the nice summer off.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I'm saying it like as if I'm complaining about it, but I'm not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So that is what we've been playing this week. We're going to move on to section 3, which is the news.
It's time for some news, yeah. It's time for some news.
Welcome back to section 3, which is the news. We have got 6 items on the list today. I might add on a 7th one if I'm feeling generous. So
7's the holy number.
It is. So number 1, Guerrilla Games is getting a bigger... They're basically expanding the studio. So these are the people who've made Horizon Zero Dawn. They've made Killzone. Those kind of games. They've basically now got, obviously, Horizon Zero Dawn, massive success, massively critically a success. So it's good that they've been able to expand, but they've basically done it so that they can get games out faster, which is interesting. So how do you feel? Are you happy with that? Do you want to see?
I'm always up for game developers
you
getting
haven't
bigger.
played Horizon, have you?
No.
You need to borrow that for me for sure. You'd like that.
Yeah.
It's like Assassin's Creed, but good. No, not really. So that's one of my favourite.
That one with the robot dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sick robot dinosaurs. You can get a massive T-Rex like statue that's like
Please
this
don't
big.
start me off with
I want it
statues.
so bad.
I don't want to start collecting statues.
Oh, it's like this big and it's just sick.
I don't want my bedroom turned into this. Really.
Jodie, let's be honest, yeah, you do. You want it to turn into this. Let's be honest now. You look at that Amiibo collection, you're like, I'll have all them.
Where would I put all them?
Lovely shelves on the wall like that. Beautiful. So moving on, but Guerrilla Games is one of my favourite game studios, so I'm quite happy about It should be interesting to see what they mean by getting them out faster, because I'm like, at the moment they do Killzone, which we haven't seen in a while, and we've had Horizon Zero Dawn, so I'm like, are they going to be developing a new IP on top of that, or are we going to get a new Killzone soon? I loved Killzone, but I was not a fan of the last one. So I'd be interested to see, are we going to start getting games like every 2 years, because that's pretty rapid for those types of games. Number 2, Fortnite is always in the news.
Yes, it is.
Which bores me, but there you go. But Fortnite has officially made $1 billion in in-game purchases. And I bet you it's more than that. It's probably more than that, which is insane. How do you feel about costumes that cost 20 quid?
I think it's just rude. Could just imagine a kid paying £20 to get a new skin.
It's just like...
No.
I mean, you think about it, back in the day... Back in the PS3 days, for example, like a skin for something would cost you like £1, but 20 quid nowadays. Even like some of the like the not as rare. I mean, rarity is just a weird thing to say with this because you just buy them. So I mean, how rare is it? But like the stuff that costs like 500, 800 V-Bucks, that's still a lot of money. 800 V-Bucks really is setting you back about 8 quid.
Yeah,
that's expensive, isn't it? But then the battle pass, then it makes that look like it's well worth it because it's like you get 100 odd stuff.
Especially when you like pay that £20 one now, like a £20 battle pass where you get so many tiers as well. I was like, cheat, like go grind for your levels
like a real person. Yeah, but it's interesting in it because they always they make the best looking ones cost that. But at the same time, it's kind of. It's a weird thing to say that it's good, but in a weird way, it's kind of good because then not everybody has that skin, do they? So, like, I guess, like, if you feel a little bit more special than it. But it's a lot of money to spend to make something special. But there you go. Number 3. So there's a game called The Culling. I don't know anything about this game. I never have. It didn't intrigue me in any shape or form. But I thought this was interesting anyway. So The Culling 2, which I think was only on... Oh no, it's on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. So it's been out for 8 days, and it's shutting down. So imagine you bought a game, excited, played it. 8 days later, it's like, bye, done. So that's just happened. So apparently everyone was complaining about it. I think from what I saw, so people didn't get like... Reviewers didn't get like codes and stuff early. And then on Steam, they have like... people can do their own reviews on, and it gives you like a percentage of what they scored it, and it was on like 5% approval rate, which wasn't good.
That's never good.
And apparently they're taking it down now, and they want to refund everybody in talks with PlayStation and Xbox of how to refund everyone. So if you bought that game and you hated it, just bear in mind you're probably going to get a refund at some point. But they're apparently going to go back to the first Culling, which apparently people like. I don't know. But they're going to reboot that as a free-to-play game, which I don't feel like is going to make people happy either. So that should be interesting. So if you bought The Culling 2, there's a good chance you're getting your money back. Number 4. So Gamescom is coming up reasonably soon, and apparently Microsoft is going to be... This made me go, what? And then it made sense. So they said that they're going to be unveiling new hardware, and I was thinking... Surely not. Surely we're not getting a new Xbox now. That's ridiculous.
No.
But then they went on to clarify there's going to be new like hardware bundles. So it's going to be like, hey, look, now you can buy an Xbox that comes with a copy of The Culling 2 that you'll get a refund on the next. You know what I mean? It's just basically the bundling games with that. And I'm like, that's not news. No one needs to know that. But then there's whispers that there could be a new limited edition Xbox One X, which
Tim.
is dangerous.
No, Tim. Don't do it.
It's very dangerous.
Don't do it. Don't play it.
I'm not interested in the Xbox in any shape or form right now. But if there's a sweet looking Xbox One X limited edition.
No.
I can't. The thing is, right, let's brainstorm for a moment. What game could they possibly do one for, though? Because if it's like Anthem, it's way too early to announce that, because that's not coming out till February. And if that is the case, there's a good chance I'll be getting it. Because that's enough time for me to sort it out. But then the only other one I could think of is that it could be for a Forza Horizon 4 one. But then that's not exciting. That's pretty boring. One based around a car.
PlayStation did that. And I don't think
Did
they
they?
sold many. Yeah, they did it with that CR one. I can't remember what it was.
Did they?
Mm.
Oh, right.
Because Xbox brought out the last Xbox,
Yeah.
so they had to do something, didn't they, to try and bump up numbers. PlayStation. So that's what they did.
Are you on about Gran Turismo? GT?
That's it.
Right, I was going to say, I was thinking,
I
what?
couldn't think
yeah,
of
they
it.
did do that, but it was boring. To be fair, it looked classy, but it was
Yeah.
boring. It was just black and silver with the logo on it, wasn't it? But Xbox. The thing is that Xbox are really good at doing limited edition stuff. Like, I still, right now, because I've got rid of the Xbox One X now, I mourn the day that I sold my Gears of War 4. Because that console was stunning, like so good.
That's what you get. When
So
you
that's the
buy
thing.
it.
Never say never. They could come out with something that just looks incredible, and that's why I'm like, I'm not going to say never, but they'd have to do something pretty special to get me to do that. But then I can't remember. Oh, I didn't write down what the code name is, but apparently again there's rumors, which is to be expected, that there's a code name for the new Xbox, and it's expected to come out in 2020. Does that excite you?
No.
Nope, me neither. Number 5. So, a few years ago, there was a demo that got released called PT. And our good friend, he's not actually a friend, but everyone feels like he's a friend. I forgot his name now, which is embarrassing. But basically, there was
Great
this...
friends we are.
Oh, sorry, I remember it. So Kojima, the whole thing around
okay.
Kojima. Best mates with Kojima, me and him, like we hang out all the time. No, obviously never met him. But everyone loved him, and he basically was making a new Silent Hill game. I hope it is Silent Hill, but I might be going crazy. He was making a new Silent Hill game, and it was like they just released this demo, and this demo was apparently just like the most incredible thing ever. I never played it. But then obviously the whole thing broke down with Kojima and Konami, and they had the big falling out, and they just took the game got cancelled, and they just took the demo off, and now like people legit sell PS4s that have that demo downloaded and sell them for like hundreds.
I bet.
I bet. But so basically, some fans started remaking the demo.
Right.
And this happens a lot with like games that get lost and things like that. They basically use assets and all sorts to try and rebuild it. So they were in the process of rebuilding it, and then Konami came in, like the scumbags that they are, and we're shutting it down. So they shut it down, but then in a rare twist, they actually offered the people who were developing it, the person, I think it was just one person, and they offered him an internship with Konami.
Oh.
And why you would want to say yes to scumbags like that, I have never known. But it's a nice foot in the door into the industry, I guess, if you're into it. So that was it. I thought it was really scumbag moves, but interesting at the same time. And I wonder if that person's going to take it. But my gosh, interesting.
Do you think the chip he's going to get for it?
The what?
The chip he'll get for it?
He will. And for you Americans out there, we're just going to point out the word jip means a lot of sass.
Yeah.
That's what it means in England. Doesn't really get used that often.
No.
But you're bringing it back just for this episode, aren't you?
Yeah. And it's probably going to be in the next 4 or 5, like we did for Cooking Craze that time.
Absolutely. Number 6. So this is just another thing, just dire for Xbox. But Ubisoft released some numbers recently, and apparently for this quarter, their games on PC has outsold games sold on Xbox, which just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen. So Xbox is really struggling. I don't think it's actually far off now, the Switch overtaking the Xbox, which is just insane to think.
I know.
Because you think like there's PlayStation, Xbox, and then Nintendo are like these people who are kind of at the bottom, but you know.
Yeah, they're coming back, Nintendo.
It shows you how well the Switch are doing, but how badly the Xbox is doing at the same time. So they're close to taking over.
I think they'll take over by November with that Pokemon Let's Go.
I think it could push it over, yeah. I think, agreed. And then Smash Brothers comes out in December, which I don't even think that needs to be there for it to sell up once Pokemon comes out, but it is a system seller. And then I'm going to throw one more in just to fill it out. But the UK numbers, sale numbers for software I thought this was an interesting week. So out of the top 10, it was something crazy like 7 or 8 of the games were Switch games in the UK, which is crazy. But number 1 was Crash Bandicoot. Number 2 was Lego Incredibles, and number 3 was Octopath Traveler.
Told you, Lego Incredibles will always beat Octopath.
But based on revenue, Octopath Traveler actually made more money.
Did it?
Because Octopath Traveler is a full price game, whereas Lego Incredibles is 40, so it's a bit reduced, and Crash Bandicoot's 30. So actually, Octopath Traveler actually made more money. But come on the Switch! Come on the Switch! And of course, Crash Bandicoot is multi-platform as well, so I'm assuming that that's got the Xbox numbers in that as well.
Yeah,
And PlayStation's was already out. So I just thought it was really cool. So we are leaning heavily on the Switch these days because it's the best. And I've managed to convince you that it's the best thing ever. Just might to go, or has he already been converted? All will be revealed very soon in the news that I said yes is more exciting than a pregnancy reveal. 100%.
It's a big thing.
Like, if what Mike's got to say to me, like, me going up, I have to be careful what I say it. If I was going to tell my parents that my wife was pregnant, right, I'd have to share that news first because the excitement level would be diminished if I told them the news that Mike has got.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So I'd have to go, I'm going to tell you the Mike news second because I don't want it to overshadow. I don't want it to build up too much.
You can't do that. You just can't do that.
So I'd be like, look, my news is exciting, but Mike's news is like up there. So just bring back your expectations. That's what I'd have to do.
You just can't say that.
It's important. So that is the news. That is the news. And we're going to be moving on to section 4, which is what is out this week.
Can someone tell me what's out this week? Hey-oh.
Welcome back. It's time for what is out this week. So as always, I'm going to read out a list of the most noticeable games coming out this week, and then Jodie is going to tell you what you should buy. Yes, last week she made a terrible decision, and I rectified that, and that's okay. But this week I think she'll do all right this time.
We'll see.
Okay. So, number 1, we have got No Man's Sky coming out on Xbox One. So this was obviously a PS4 exclusive for a while. It's now coming out on the Xbox One.
Okay.
That game got a lot of hate, and I understand why, but I actually think it's all right. It's all right. You know what I mean? And they've made a lot. I want to point out, like, if you were one of the people that played this right at the start, they've updated it like crazy, and it's got a lot of the stuff that you were like, oh, it's missing. It's sorted now. But I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's still I think it's a very good game. It wasn't when it came out. Yes, it was missing stuff, but it's better now. Number 2, Go Vacation is coming out on the Nintendo Switch exclusively, and that is like, it's kind of like an open world Wii Sports Resort. I think that looks really cool as well. Number 3, we've got a horrific game called Hello Neighbor. We watched some trailers beforehand.
Such a bad game.
I've been seeing screenshots on the Switch for a while, and I've just been like, oh my gosh, this looks like my nightmare. And we watched the trailer before and it confirmed it. So basically this game, I don't know if you're trying to, I don't know the storyline of it or anything. I don't know if you're just trying to find stuff about your neighbour or something, or like something's going on. But essentially you've got to like break into his house, and then like he proper chases you, and you're almost like playing hide and seek with him at some point. So it's like a horror game, but not like gory and all this other stuff. But it was terrifying.
It's too much on edge.
Oh, all the time.
Put us on edge too much.
So to give an example of some of the stuff that we saw, definitely watch the trailer. But like he was looking through the window and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, how am I gonna get in?" And then he actually ran over the player and picked up a tomato. Like, why has he picked up a tomato? And he threw it at the window, and then he ran over to the other side of the house. And the guy ran out of the house to like find out what had gone on, and then he like snuck in through the door. But then, oh my gosh, you heard the door shut, and you could hear the guy walking around, and like he was trying to hide and like try and get into different rooms, and then he saw you, and then he was just pegging it around and turned into this whole chase thing, and it was horrible. Like, I'm the sort of person where you play hide and seek, I'm hiding in the cupboard, you walk to the room, I just come out and go, I'm here. I'm here, don't worry. You caught me. Well done. That's how I work. So this game sounds like my nightmare, but I'm really intrigued by it at the same time. It's that like, I don't know, it's weird. So I think on the store it was either 30 or 40 quid, so it's quite expensive. It's very like Pixar-y type graphics, but I want to give it a go, but I'm not paying full price for that. I'm not paying full price to poo myself. That's basically, you know what I mean? Not doing that. And then finally, we've got the Banner Saga Trilogy Bonus Edition. I find this really weird. This is only on the PS4 and the Xbox One, when all 3 games are going to be on the Switch anyway. So I don't know why it's only those 2 that are getting those. No idea why that is, but there you go. They must think they can get more money that way for some reason.
They're getting out off Xbox, are they? Are they like that?
Evidently not. So all of those games come out on Friday, and that's Friday for you. So Jodie, what out of those 4 games do you recommend? Hello Neighbour? Is that the one you're thinking? Is that the one you want?
Probably.
Really?
Just because I want to see you jump out your skin.
No, maybe we should do a video of that.
We should just play it and see what happens.
Maybe. So is that what you're going for? You're going for Hello Neighbour?
Hello Neighbour.
Okay. I'm going to go for, you wouldn't expect it, but I'm going to go for Go Vacation.
That was the second place.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games, it's never going to get like an amazing score, but it's one of those games that you keep coming back to, and like when you have friends around and stuff, you have good luck. Very much like Wii Sports Resort, for example, the amount of time, even my parents like played the sword fighting game all the time, and then obviously tennis and all that stuff, people loved it, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it just
made
looks like
the
really
Wii great.
And it's one of these where like if you actually, so this was actually on the Wii originally, and it didn't get like a great, I think it got like a 5 or something, which is like, you know, average. And if you go into like any YouTube video and just look at the comments, like every single person is like, I played this all the time when I was younger, and it's like an amazing game. And I didn't see anything bad. So like, I think it's one of those games where it just doesn't get a great score, but it's one of those games you really love when you play it a lot. So there you go. It's a sports game in it. It's not really going to do amazing. But it's got like horse riding in it. It's got dog sledding in it. It's got jet skiing. It's got obviously tennis and things like it. It's crazy. And
I never go to a tennis court, but everything else is boss.
And it's got like 4 different resorts which are all open world. You can run around and like have like just explore, and then you can get your own little cabin that you get to deck out with stuff. You can have a pet dog, and it's crazy. It's great. It's one of those where it just kept going. You're thinking, usually with a lot, when it's got loads of stuff in it like that, it tends to be naff, doesn't it? But who knows? I'm definitely going to play that. So there you go. So Jodie is recommending Hello Neighbour. So anybody who doesn't like playing hide and seek, I do not think that's a good one for you. But we will hopefully maybe do a video for that. I think that'll be funny. So we're going to move on to our section 5, which is reviews of the week.
Oh, it's time to get funky. Reviews of the week.
Welcome back. It's time for reviews of the week, and I'm going to give you a very quick first-hand look at Lego The Incredibles. So, as I said before, big game really for me last week was Octopath Traveler, but I want a bit more time with that before I do a full review. But I want to talk a little bit about Lego Incredibles. It was your pick of the week last week. I thought that was a mistake, but here we are.
Never.
So I haven't played a ton of it, but I've played enough Lego games to know what this is like. I've played, I think the diversity of the types of levels and stuff, I've played enough to know how it's going to be. And I got this on the Nintendo Switch, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the quality of that port as well. So first off, it literally follows the story, because I've seen Lego Incredibles 2 now, it literally follows the story to a T, like scene by scene. It's like, obviously there's a few little variations here and there, but apparently it's got the first film in it as well. And I just wanted to play from the first film, but there was no option to do that, and I was really confused. I was like, I just want to start from the first film, but it automatically puts you into the second film. I don't even know how you get to the first film, which is confusing. But it starts off, it's got a decent tutorial section at the start. My problem with Lego games is like, so this has an open world section as well. You can go around and there's like, it's really cool. There's like little random crimes and stuff will just take place, and you can just do them if you want to, like do car chases and all sorts. But then really when you're going through the story, it goes through these like linear sections, and it's just very much like go here and break this brick and put it here and then move this over here, and it just like slows everything down. It just gets a little bit boring. That's my problem with Lego games at the moment. But apart from that, it's fine, and I definitely do not play this game before you watch the movie, because it'll spoil the entire movie, so watch the movie first. But yeah, it's got some nice comedy bits in it. It's all voice acted. Graphics are actually not that great. I actually was really surprised, and I checked with the PS4 version, the Xbox One, like One X version as well, and the graphics just don't seem that great, which I'm really surprised about. But the Switch version specifically, I'm gonna say, like, if you're gonna just play this on a TV, don't get it on the Switch. Don't, the frame rate is atrocious. Like, it just drops all the time. Graphics aren't as good. It's just, to me, performance is quite poor, which is again, and it's not. I don't think it's just like limitations of the Switch, because I've played Wolfenstein 2 on it, and that looks significantly better. So I just think it's not a great port. Yeah. So overall, in terms of like the actual game, you could probably just go watch the movie, to be honest, and I don't think you're going to be missing out on anything. But the open world bit and stuff is quite fun. The linear sections are a little bit boring, but there you go. So I'm going to tag on. So from now on, we're going to give scores like normal for games, but then I'm going to do a buy, rent, wait, or leave it. That's what we're going to do. So it gives you a little bit more of... So rather than just a score... Because like Go Vacation, for example, it will get a low score, I would imagine. But then it might be it might be worth a buy, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with this, it's going to get a 5 out of 10. Okay. So that doesn't mean it's terrible. It just means it's average. It's just a very average game.
It's in the middle.
Yeah, so we're not like the big websites where basically every single game either gets a 7, an 8, or a 9. And then the odd one gets a 10. Like, we're going to use the whole scale. So some games might get a 2. Some games might get a 5. Some games might get 10.
Some might just get 0.
They could do. It could do. So this game gets a 5, which means it's average. And then morality score-wise, I'm going to give it a 9. No, I'm going to give it a 10. What am I talking? I thought there's a bit of violence in there and stuff, but it's you're beating up Legos.
It's not that bad, is it?
I didn't think that one through. So that does get a 10. So, should you buy this game? No. So, where does it sit, though? I think if you're like... I don't even know how much... I know in America there's loads of renting options. I don't know how many renting options there are in the UK. But if you're like me and you just like... You see a movie or you get into something like... I just got into Star Wars for a bit and I just wanted everything Star Wars. If you're going to the movie and you're just like, I'd love to play a Lego Incredibles game, just rent it. You don't need to own this game. Once you've finished it, you're not going back to it. But if you want to buy it to own, definitely wait. This game will drop in price. Half the price, I reckon, easy. And I just don't think it's that incredible.
It did it.
That wasn't even
intentional.
Yeah, so it's an either wait or rent situation.
So basically what he's saying is the incredible game is not incredible.
It's not. It's
Don't
not.
go for it.
It's actually like, I mean, like, if you really want that sort of open world Lego experience, get Lego City Undercover. That is a fantastic game.
I hear that's a good game.
Yeah, but this one is just not that great.
I don't like Lego games anyway.
Some of them are great. Like Lego, like I said, that one I think is worth a shot. But Incredibles is like, So that's what I'm saying. If you're coming out the movie and you're just like, or your kid is just like, oh, I want to play. I'm all into Incredibles now. Buy me all the Incredibles toys and I want to play the game. Just rent the game, get it out the system in a week, be done. Save yourself loads of money. But if you do want to buy it to own it, I just recommend you wait, because I think that game will halve in price like pretty quick, and I don't think it's worth the money that it's going up for. So there you go.
There you go, Tim.
So you still want to stick by your pick of the week last week?
No.
So there you go.
To be honest with you, I won't buy it anyway, but...
So we just want to point out that Jodie's pick of the week from last week, she wouldn't buy it anyway. So there you go. What can you say?
I just wanted to do it to wind you up more than that was the main reason.
On the week where Octopath Traveler came out.
That was the point.
Even Toad's Treasure Tracker is far better than that. That's what's embarrassing about that. But anyway, moving on. We're going to go on to our final section, which is Topic of the Week.
Topic of the Week.
Alright, welcome back. It is time for our fifth section, which is Reviews of the Week. And this week, off the back of what Xbox have said about well, they've not literally said it, but the rumours coming out about the new hardware coming out in possibly 2 years, which I think most people predicted anyway. When would you like the next generation to start? So what that means is we have PS4 right now, we have Xbox One. Nintendo's kind of outside of this cycle.
Yeah,
but
don't bother either.
But those two, it means when is the next generation consoles going to come out? And we're going to get all brand new, like, higher spec games that maybe will or won't work on the last consoles. When would you like that to start? So you're a PS4 owner. How much longer do you want to be buying PS4 games before you buy PS5 games?
I mean, I've only had the PS4 for about 2, maybe 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of still new for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I know 5, 6 years.
5 or 6 years?
Yeah. I'm one of these, just
Wow.
yeah, it took me a long time to get the PlayStation 4, so I would lie in the PlayStation 4 for a bit longer.
Wow.
Even if they were like, oh, in the next 2 years, the next PlayStation's coming out, I'm going to be like, it's going to be a 4-year for me.
Okay.
That's what would happen.
Okay. So what about Nintendo then? So you've just got a Nintendo Switch. If you had to put a year on it, when would you want Nintendo to make a new console?
Probably around the same.
The same time? So you'd be happy in 5 years for this to be all new PlayStation, Xboxes, and Nintendo stuff? Yeah. Okay.
Makes it feel worth it.
So for me, it's different because I bought the PS4 and Xbox One day one, mainly for the purpose of this. I didn't even like Xbox at the time. I actually bought it for this, but whatever. So for me, it's been 5 years. 5 years, Jodie. I can't wait another 5 years. That's 10 years. That's more than the PS3
yeah, but
was
when
going
they come
for.
out with that massive, like, big hard drive and all the top spec things, you'd be like, it was worth it. It was worth it.
But it'll be doing that anyway in 2 years.
I know, but you never know. They might do something even better.
Oh, wow. So to me, it's a weird one because I feel like games... So towards the very end of a generation, you start getting the games that really utilise the hardware. So like, so last generation we got games like The Last of Us. I think we got Uncharted 3 near that end, maybe a bit before. So you got games that were like really taking advantage of the hardware and really knew how to pull out the power. And obviously this generation, we've just got games like God of War and things like that, which really push what it's capable of. Obviously we've got the PS4 Pro as well, so it's even pushing that. So I do think it needs a couple of years just for those big games to come out. But the problem is now, and I think you've seen that at the last E3, like Xbox, all the games going forward are coming out next generation. I think it wouldn't surprise me next year or so you're not going to see a lot, even though we've not seen a lot anyway. But then PlayStation, those 4 games that they showed off, so Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us 2, and Days Gone, those are the PS4's last games now. And it just is. That's the way it is. And I don't think we get anything after that. So I think they need that like 2-year period to be able to develop games for the new systems. And I think 2 years is actually a nice amount.
Okay.
So for me, that would be 7 years near, or possibly a little bit more than 7 years. That's enough. It's enough time. Traditionally, just to give context, console generations cross over from between 5 to 6 years after they come out, and we're going to be moving on to 7 years there. So we are due. The PS3 and that was a different case because the whole financial crisis and everything, it had to go on longer. That went on 8, 9 years or something.
Yeah, it was on for a long time.
But to me, I think 2 years is a good amount, and I think I'll be ready then.
Yeah, because I think
Xbox need a new start as well.
Yeah.
They can't survive for another. They can't survive for another 5 years.
No, definitely they need something quick. But I think when I got my PlayStation 3 was about a year after the PlayStation 4 came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's what happened. And then I refused to buy the PlayStation 4 because I just bought the PlayStation 3. So I held it off for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I'm going to have to do it because the kids all want it.
It's an interesting thing as well, isn't it? So I like after last week, we talked a lot about like how like keeping up with games and like should you feel pressurized to like keep up with the newest games and things like that. And actually, it actually makes more financial sense to wait to the very end of a generation, buy the console, and you got that massive library of games, and you can get most of them really. So, like even things like Uncharted 4 is like a massive PS4, probably one of the best. Yeah. But you can probably pick that up so cheap now.
Definitely.
Whereas at the time you'd be paying 50 quid for it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think about it when it was new.
Yeah. So it's an interesting one. But I think 2 years is good, and I think for Nintendo, they've already said that they want like the Switch to last like 10 years. I think that's a bad idea. I love the Switch. Oh, it's like my baby, but at some point it's got to grow up. and I have to just let it go out and do its own thing. But I mean, I would like to see Nintendo do very like kind of like with the PS4s and with the PS4 Pro, and just do like the same console but with better specs. Because you think about it, if we're getting the PS5 and the next Xbox in 2 years, and we want those games that are on those consoles to come to the Switch, like the Switch won't be able to handle anywhere near that. So I think that's going to need a revision to hold up. I don't think they can handle that for 10 years.
I think we'd get like a Switch Pro. I think that's.
I hope that happens. I really hope that happens, and I think bring that out maybe a year after the new Xbox and PS4 come out, and just keep up with that competitiveness. But I think...
Because I'd well sell my Switch to get a Switch Pro. That's one of the only things I'd probably do.
Oh my.
Because I use it that much, but I'm not doing uni work.
Oh, Jodie, you know how happy that makes me? Oh, Jodie's using a Switch that much that she would buy a Pro version.
So true. So after months of hating on the Switch, we're finally like, yeah.
So for people who don't think that miracles don't happen...
They do.
Here we are. Here we are. So there you go. What more is there to say? So yeah, I think 2 years for the next gen ones, and then for Nintendo to do a nice little revision. The thing is though, like I'm assuming that's what they're planning. The 3DS, they literally brought out a new type of 3DS like every year. You had like the 3DS, then the new 3DS, then the 2DS, then the new 2DS, and it's like every year there's a new revision. Yeah, I know. So I'm really hoping that happens. What would you want? What would you just want it to be better specs, or would you want like a bigger screen? What do you think that would ruin it if you got a bigger screen? Like what would you?
I mean, this one's like very portable that I really like, but I think personally because of my eyesight, it needs to be that bit bigger because like, I struggle a little bit. Yeah. But I mean, generally, like they just brought out better specs. Like, I think it'll just be all right. It's one of them. Yeah. I try not to be competitive when I'm playing portable because I can't see the screen that well.
Well, that's the thing. I was playing Fortnite and it was just me and one other person. I had this guy on the ropes, and then I was like, my hands were getting sweaty, panicking, and I was like, "Can I get these buttons going now?" And then I died. So yeah, what I would like is I would like a bigger screen, but it not to change size. Now let me clarify. So like I have, and don't judge me, people, but I have an iPhone X.
Like all these big YouTubers.
So what they managed to do though was I had an iPhone 7 Plus or something. Okay. And the phone's massive. But actually this has pretty much the same size screen as that, but it's shrunken down because they got rid of the bezels and it's not as thick and the button's not there. And I've actually seen like a mock-up that someone's done of if they got rid of the bezels in the Switch, and it looks beautiful. Really? So imagine that big black bar that goes all the way around the edge, that would just be gone and it would just all be taken away. So you're getting a bigger screen, but the size of the whole thing isn't changing, and I think I'd love that.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Such a smart move, and it would just make it look even better.
Yeah, no.
I think it's one of those changes as well. Like for me, my wife's got an 8 Plus or something, and like when I see her phone next to mine, and you've got a 7 Plus. But like when I see that, it just looks old to me because I've got that. It just looks weird to me now. It's the same as like if you went back to like an iPhone 4 now, you'd look at that and be like, "What is that?" I feel like that's what would happen with the Switch if you'd done that. I just think it would make it look a bit nicer. So that's kind of what I would want.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you go. We turned it back on the Nintendo Switch, and it makes me so happy. So there you go. That has been the Late Night Gaming Show, episode 25.
25 people.
So thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you absolutely hated everything we had to say, you can give us a thumbs down as well.
Don't do that.
We've got a bunch of really cool videos up at the moment. Check out our Octopath Traveler's Compendium Edition unboxing. It is absolutely beautiful. We've got a massive Crash Bandicoot unboxing, which has loads of cool stuff in that. Check that out too. And then maybe after next week we might even put that Hello Neighbour video up, because I think that would be a good laugh. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you very soon for episode 26 of the Late Night Game Show. See you soon.
Do
The light's still on.
He's gone live all the way across
You know,
YouTube.
that's 100% going on the video. That is 100% going on the video.
No.
Yeah! He's gonna be on it.
You're
It is
literally-
actually.
You're doing that on YouTube.
It is actually live. Look, it's still going.
I just heard you sign off, so I thought that was the end.